The three tones ring out, and with attention drawn, people look to the screens. Before them, a man in an athletic form, wearing a well-composed suit and a diadem upon his head, waves to camera. Children of the pit, it's so nice to make your acquaintance. See, I've noticed something. I've been around. I've seen what y'all are capable of. It's so much. It's so great. But there's a problem, you see. The rest of the world doesn't know what you're capable of, how great you can be when you are focused. And I want to show them that. I want to show each and every single one of them that you have something special. So I come up with a show. The greatest show. The greatest form of entertainment anyone this side of the pit has thought of in, gosh, ever. I'm going to bring the best merchants, the best talent scouts, the best people I can over to Oak Ridge, just outside the pit. We'll set up in the city there, and you'll come, the best and brightest of each and every single one of you, representatives sent from each and every city. You'll come and you will show them what you are capable of. But what's a show? What is true entertainment without risk and reward? Well, I have the reward. And with that, the view expands further and further beyond. We see that this individual is speaking from atop of a astral dreadnought. He looks out over the seas and he gestures out so as to indicate that the ship itself is the reward. I can take you anywhere, let you see anything. No one would even dream of stopping you. And my friends, what better reward is power? But if that is the reward, we need a punishment, some sort of setback. The representative from any reach of the pit that fails to impress, that just ends up being a bore, well, they, being the best and of the brightest of where they're from, well, they're just gonna have to be responsible. Responsible for failing to be anything more than average. And my friends, the people of the pit, were nothing close to average. And with that, a cannon aims and fires into the distance, and a crater's explosion in the ocean rises and falls. The camera focuses back on the man, who smiles largely. Well, you've only got 3 weeks to get ready. Remember, your best and your brightest.
Matt, did you just give us a tournament arc? Hell yeah.
Matt, the
Brother.
Olympics, they just ended, though. The Olympics just ended. We have 2 years.
I don't think so.
Training montage.
This message plays out the following day after Mullen Bracecar falls from the tower. But however the message received across the pit, we're less concerned about that. Right now, today is about rebuilding Yarmul. Or, at the very least, getting you all readjusted. So, after Mullen fell, what were you all up to?
Are we staying in Yarmul for the time being, or are we starting our return journey to Dame Joan?
That's entirely up to you all.
I think
My stuff can kind of go whenever, probably more on the traveling side of things. So whatever you guys want to do, go for it.
Civic has some stuff they can do in Yarmul.
Yeah. Having recognized the sacrifice that Wilson put themselves on the line for in our mission here in Yarmul, Reginald would definitely want the party to stay, help stabilize things, prevent any overt vacuums of power or severe distrust of Wilson, and kind of help out and rebuilding the name of the Defender and getting kind of the distrust of the whole concept out and rebranding to instill Wilson as a good symbol of power for the city.
Sure. Give me... I feel like this calls for like a willpower might check, unless you want to go full charisma, willpower it.
I think
Should this be a group effort? Like, should we be helping as a team, or is this just Reginald, you wanting to do this solo?
Or are we doing other things? Civic could be busy doing something else.
right. Yeah, I think I'd probably want to take this one on myself.
Cool.
All right.
A 7 and a 9, so a 16.
16.
Very good.
Whoa.
I mean, and that's on me for not having set a difficulty ahead of time, but that'll crush most of them. Yeah. How tell me how this plays out. How do you win back trust?
Yeah, well, there are a few bystanders as soon as, Malam's body falls, and of the people still around, definitely the braver of people, whereas a lot would have retreated or been discouraged from seeing the violence break out in the center of the town. Those that are around are those that have felt that want for change and revolution or a discomfort in the way the city was going. So when we emerge from the tower, Wilson and I kind of gather everyone together and explain the situation to them. And over the course of a few hours and maybe a day or two that we spend finishing our business here, that news kind of gets dispersed and disseminated, and we encourage everyone to come to the center of town where we are helping out citizens that have been affected in one way or another, and just show the good faith and take control of the narrative of this is a tragedy that happened, but we did do this for the city and we are true to our word. And I think that's what's kind of gets people to see past the chaos and see the end goal of the city's benefit.
Yeah. Over the course of, this reinstating a sense of order, some people, it is brought up that the Defenders should only have been a program for Yarmul. And so as you're doing this reinstatement, unless you can disagree if you'd like, but they will refocus taking the Panda part of it out and focus on just being the Defenders of Yarmul. They start
Absolutely.
working on that. Yeah. Iris will not join, but definitely recommends people to be a part of it, refusing to actively be a part of this union. But there is a impouring of people who take notice of how genuine you and Wilson are being and how much you put on the line, and they are more than happy to be a part of this. That night, Kevin wakes up.
Who?
Yeah, guys, very, very funny. Yeah, my name. I guess you guys saved me.
Well, to be quite fair, we did somewhat put you in that position as well, and I could not sleep at night if we didn't make our damnedest effort to get you back unscathed. Well, alive. The scathing happened.
Sure, yeah. You know what? I appreciate it. Actually, he'll sit up properly. Thanks. I talked a lot of shit to you guys, and sorry.
I would say Kevin's all grown up now, huh?
It's water under the bridge, Kevin. We didn't take it personally.
That's great because I have so many. Never mind.
Oh, you have more. You have more you would like to get off your chest? And
No,
now's as good a time to do it as any.
Now listen, I get it. You know, everybody's just trying to do the most good that they can, right?
Yes, and sometimes that misguidingly leads to exploding a building. So if you see Rebecca, make sure to set her on the right path as well.
She's still in the city? Oh gosh. We would last I was aware of the situation, Iris and I were trying to get her out as soon as it was clear enough, but you know, Mullum and his goons were out and about, and it kind of was difficult to, you know, send her out without getting caught. But you saying she's still here?
Whereabouts are currently unknown.
She should really get home. I'm probably gonna stay, but can I trust that you guys can get her back?
I contributed to the state she's found herself in, so yes, I will take personal responsibility and make sure she gets home.
Great. And hey, if you could say sorry to Derek and Luke. I was really mean to those guys, and you know, the home is enough for them, but I feel like I can really be something here.
Well, soon more than just us three might know your name.
Why?
Because you're going to make a name for yourself, right?
Oh.
Yes, that whole... I was trying to be inspirational, but perhaps I occluded my meaning.
I was terrified. Yeah, no, I thought you guys, reported me or something. Jesus, man, you gotta finish your sentences.
So why have you decided to make a name for yourself, Kevin? Or did you just think Kevin's not going to stick, or?
You guys seem to forget it all the time, so I reckon I probably need to make it more... I gotta give it more staying power, right?
There you go. That's a good way of looking at it.
Anyway, thanks for, not letting me die and saving the city that I was in again. You guys, you got a habit of doing that? You doing that on purpose, or it just kind of happens?
I don't know. Are you planning on traveling anytime soon?
This is the night before the message goes out. No, I have no plans of going anywhere.
That's so funny. Matt, this is a great bit. New NPCs? No. Repeated NPCs? Absolutely.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. Oh my god, we're going to watch him get folded like a pretzel in the first round. I'm going to make your entrails into your extrails.
Yeah, I think Iris has been a good mentor, and I think, hey, maybe one day I'll go back to Farwalk, but I think right now, Yama's the place for me.
It's good to be where you think you can grow. And if you felt like you couldn't do that at home, then I think this is the right place for you. And I speak for... Well, I'll just speak for myself. I should stop trying to speak for other people. I think that you have a lot of potential, Kevin, and I think Iris is an excellent person to learn from. They're smart, cunning, and also they're kind. That's a powerful trio of things to be when you're trying to better the people around you. So, I wish you all the best.
Thanks. Yeah.
Oh, actually, you know what? Hold on. I think I might have a little something for you. I'll rifle through my bag for a book on self-reflection for leaders and hand it over to Kevin.
Oh, yeah. He's holding it upside down. Yeah, no, this looks great. Yeah. Yeah, and this one, oh, yeah, that's good stuff. I'll make sure to
Hold on.
Hmm?
Hold on. A different perspective might help, and I'll turn the book right side up.
Oh, yeah, that makes the pictures make a lot more sense. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I'll get to this for sure.
Just wait till you get to chapter 3. Really reframes the entire narrative for you.
I bet you guys should go away now.
Look at that. Already exercising his leadership. Assertion.
That's at
Get some
least
rest,
chapter 2
Kevin.
material. And we head out.
Sure. You don't even make it 3 steps before you see Rebecca sitting near they have like a medical tent just for like the recoveries. She's sitting outside.
I will approach. And I'll approach and just kind of not say anything, just sort of fall into step and help with whatever she's doing in terms of first aid and attending to people in the tent. Gotta try and start to build a baseline presence again.
Sure. Yeah. She's mostly just looking over like supplies and making sure the people are sent out to where they need to go, as well as like looking over records of there was some damage to the city. You guys remember hearing an explosion go off that may not have been the corrupt defenders so much as Rebecca making sure that people got some distance. So it is, she's looking over reports of damages, making sure that everything that got damaged is accounted for, and who needs help with the recovery. But she'll look up and see you, and she looks tired.
Are supplies running low, or does it seem like there'll be enough to tend to the wounded? Do any additional orders need to be placed? Items need to be moved?
No, I think they have a good handle on it. I think they'll with shipments coming in, they'll be able to set themselves right pretty soon. So just making sure that all is accounted for.
Good.
Yep. Is
Good.
Kevin all right?
Yes, Kevin's awake. Kevin's awake and feeling better. I wouldn't say perfect yet, but they'll be all right.
Good. That's good. I should find somewhere to sleep tonight. You guys have a place sorted?
Yes, we're staying at the Crashing Waves, actually. I think we may have some extra space if you need a place to lay your head.
I was thinking about asking Iris, actually. They know some people who might be able to find me a room for the evening.
Well, we already have ours paid for.
That'd be all right?
I think that would be quite all right.
And she will go back with you guys to the Crashing Waves. Is there anything you would like to do the evening before?
I know that Civic would want to be looking into Mollum Racecar's presence in Yarmul to see were there any lingering goons, were there any rituals underway, any sign of the hill, anything that would interest Civic specifically in making sure that the scourge of Mollum Racecar, the blight on the prismatic way, is balanced in the city. Maybe that's with the 3 or outside of the 3 as the 2 of you are managing the recovery. Civic might slink off and go try and figure stuff out.
Yeah, I would say this is a difficulty 10 insight willpower, and I'd say that's just like investigating and like talking to people. That's you just sorting that out.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I would imagine this is happening in tandem as I'm with Wilson. The body of Mollum Racecar is still there, so I'm probably around, but not directly helping you. At least if you're going to start with Mollum and ask out. But I would be assisting in the parts where we try to reestablish order.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that's
Yeah.
enough to help or not, Matt.
I imagine there's a fair bit of chaos going on as well, just as this kind of rescue effort for the city begins to organize. There's a lot of people moving and a lot of things happening in the city. So my insight is a D6 and my willpower is a D8. We're going to see how this goes.
Let's go. You got this.
That is 5 plus 2, 7.
You could spend a fabula to bump that.
I can,
If you got a
and
3.
I will. I have, ironically enough, my admiration, loyalty, and affection for the Prismatic Way. So I can spend a fabula point, add 3 to that roll, and get a 10. As I feel this lingering imbalance in the city, feeling that that kind of burning energy of the fire, that passion, the adrenaline from the fight against Molam still pulsing in my blood.
Sure. As you walk the city and look for just wherever the remnants you can find are, you learn that of Molam's people, or at least of the people who were in the basement with Tandy, 3 of Molam's men survived. You also find that with Molam's house, with his home exploded, it's difficult to find a lot of traces of any kind of rituals that were left behind, anything that was being implored. You do find, even in the wreckage, some notes about rituals that he was having his students learn. A lot of it was just like a lot of the basics, a few spells here or there. You do find that he was working on a theory that you did not need to use your own internal balance to complete the same kind of magics that the Prismatic Way was teaching, but you could pull on other people. And you see notes that line up with what you were seeing when you were on the boat with him and the rest of his students. And you understand that was likely how he was fighting Tandy while she was out on the water. He was drawing on what they had in order to empower himself, in order to execute things like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, go for it.
I was going to say, as far as like anybody who was still following him, who was like still conscious and about, it doesn't seem like the rest of the city was very pro Molam. Everyone was mostly okay with Wilson, and because Wilson was mostly vouching because it was his job to for Molam, that they were okay with it. But now that that has gone so poorly, it seems that the city overall is against him. So you're fairly confident that it won't be any stirring here. You do notice that there are some apprehensive looks at you based on your uniform, but it does not take long for it to circulate that you weren't part of them.
Can I burn another fabula point, this time to alter the story? I would like to find somewhere in Molam's effects, or as part of this investigation, that higher up members of the Hill were in on this research and were promoting it.
You absolutely can. Yes, that's lovely. Hey, Vic.
I think, yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, of course. The reason that I was looking for this, in the spirit of Fabula Ultima transparency, Radar Civic is started taking some levels in Rogue. And I think part of their journey in finding balance is going to be becoming a bit on not just banished or sent away from the Hill, but an outlaw from the Hill as the journey goes on. I think that's kind of where I feel Radar Civic could be moving, the Hill becoming more antagonistic, or more parts of it becoming antagonistic.
Cool.
So knowing that Molam Racecar's work here was condoned by the Hill, which we know had a good origin, as far as we believe Joan, who was part of founding it years and years ago, knowing that the modern Hill at its core is playing with shady biz is something I want to see.
It's a very cool move. If it wasn't for the fact that you were spending a fabula to get this, I would have given you a fabula for this. This is awesome.
Thank you.
Very excited for where this is going to move. Anything else you guys would like to do the evening before?
I just realized we have Meteor with us still.
Oh,
This is true.
Yeah. How does that go when Meteor comes with us to the Crashing Waves and Clive's there?
It's a running joke in media to have like the character that's like really excited about something like run around it in circles and like ask all kinds of intrusive questions. I'm going to employ it here. Clive is completely astounded by the existence of Meteor, and it is shared. Meteor is also incredibly curious about like this human that's interested in them. So it's a lot of excitement when you guys bring Meteor, and it seems Meteor's speech over time starts to pick up and match Clive's, but it's just a lot of questions. So you didn't like exist until today. So like, how do you any of it? Do you have organs? Do you have lungs? What is an organ? Okay, so how are you breathing right now? Like, do you know what air is? Okay, you were a crystal thing. Do you have any memories of when you were a crystal, or are you just like a new existence now that is completely like consciously separate of the crystal? What is... Oh, crystal. Crystal? Yes, that thing in your head. Yeah, that's well, it's an artifact. And so, okay, do you remember what you were like beforehand? And you know, these things could be wiped before, but like, could new information be put back into it, or can you like learn new things? Can we transfer information into you? Like, how does any of this work? Did you guys get any of this information out of him?
I'll be quite honest, the thought never crossed my mind.
This is the most they've talked.
Okay.
They've just learned how to talk. We've known them for, hold on, let me check the sun. About 5 hours. And 2 to 3 of those were spent fighting for our lives.
Right. No, that's fair. Wait, you've only been in existence for like 5 hours? You can always like, you can respond to questions. Hours. What are hours? Okay, so like time is like a thing that we invented in order to keep track of other things, but like, okay, that's not really all that important, and it is a lot of that. It's a lot of Clive asking somewhat high level questions and Meteor being confused by low concepts.
Vale will lean in a little bit to Clive and kind of like mutter in his ear, like, just remember that what you're speaking to is the manifestation of an artifact. It is very good at healing, is also very, very adept at the opposite of it, much like you inhale and exhale. So be careful where your questions lead. But
Okay.
the more you learn, the better for us.
That's great. Have you tried putting another crystal, another artifact in it? Can it hold
No,
multiples?
and I don't think no. That's a hard no.
Okay, but I get why you wouldn't want to. Can it?
that's a good question. Clive, the artifacts, the crystals, they weren't part of one thing once, were they? Like, I don't know if you tried touching them together. Do they combine?
I never tried that. You could give it a go.
I think if I remember, they did kind of start to combine when Max got a little too close. So I don't know if I'm going to risk it. He's smiling. Look at him. Look at him smiling over there.
I like to smile. Is this a crime? Is it a crime to smile?
I'm not going to try it.
I've only got one
Let's-
anyways.
Let's hold off on Joan giving us their insights. They have more understanding of these artifacts, and they can guide us down a much more careful path.
Yes, I think that is wise counsel, Reginald. Rebecca, sorry, this is our friend Meteor. They're
Right.
quite nice.
Yeah, you said the word artifact's been passed back and forth a few times. Also, isn't that the guy from Farwalk who you guys went to stop?
Oh,
He's
Clive's
cool now. Yeah.
The power of friendship is a powerful thing. Just like Kevin tried to kill us when we first met, and now he's working for the good of a city. We have that effect on people.
All right. Okay. Sure. I'm going to sleep, I think.
That's fair. I think we all could probably do with a good night's sleep.
Certainly. And you get it. Go ahead and take a long rest. The next day, as I've alluded, the message goes out. I'd say fairly early in the morning. You hear the 3-tone alert, and the message plays out. It does repeat twice. The people are alerted, and the city is abuzz once again.
Well, friends, I suppose that's for us, isn't it?
They did say they wanted to be entertained. I can see once you have a warship like that, there's not really much else that can entertain you. I feel like that's on the peak.
Also, please go ahead and accept a fabula point.
Ooh.
I don't know. Getting a ship of that size, blowing people up, like, why not just get a small island somewhere? A small, secretive island somewhere instead.
Jeez.
I thought that's what they did.
They?
You know, the super rich, the super powerful, those who think nobody can touch them, they're above it all.
Presumably they
Hosting
worked...
a tournament arc for entertainment.
Yeah. Presumably they worked with Start, so they must have another crystal or an artifact up there, right?
I believe Joan did show us this figure as having one.
Yeah, but he looks like too different.
Different?
Different out.
He looks, I don't know, smaller.
It's a video?
Oh, yeah. Maybe it's just the camera, like the way it adds like
You're
a
the
couple
techie,
of
Clive.
pounds or something.
Wait, you're
I don't
saying
know, he
that
looks-
Alejandro appears to be built differently? Same face,
Yeah,
though?
he could be his like brother, maybe. I don't know. He doesn't look quite right.
Oh. Well, that throws a wrench into things.
Clive, what's the artifact that Alejandro took do? Do you know?
Well, not what it does. Hold on. He punches something into his chair. Right. It was, he got, Joe said it could be it could be any number of 4 things. It could be the beast, the ruler, the champion, or the messenger.
One of those sounds considerably simpler to deal with than the others. I'll be completely honest.
A ruler? How long can a ruler be before it's a problem?
If anything, I would think Starts has hold of the ruler.
And the messenger, based off of what you saw, Reginald.
Oh, you're right with the communications.
So the messenger makes sense, so we could narrow it down to one of 3. But I don't know if we should assume that anyone has anything. Because you could say that perhaps Starts views himself as a champion, and thus they took it for themselves. But Starts is awfully calculated, so I would think we could almost rule out the beast for Starts. But this is just an assumption. We can't make any sort of decisions based on this.
But if Alejandro has the beast, we could be walking into some sort of beast games.
Where the grand prize is a giant ship that is a tax liability at the end of it?
But only if you keep your hand on it for the entirety of the tournament.
Year of the tournament.
I have a sword and a shield. I don't have a free hand here.
What if you have to piss? That's my question.
I hope you're not standing underneath, I guess.
Oh, gosh. Oh. So, a sort of beast game's interesting. Sounds terrifying.
But Reginald, you saw Start's tower, right? We could also go straight there.
I believe it would be unwise to face starts without limiting the tendrils of power that he has set out throughout the pit.
Especially if we just fought somebody as all in all unimportant to Starts' overall plan as the Mollum, as dangerous as the Mollum was to the world at large. But for Starts' plan, they weren't as key. We fought the Mollum, and Alejandro appeared and potentially started bombing the city, blasting away with whatever its cannons are. If we attack Starts, he'll hold the entirety of the pit hostage, or just glass the entire surface to punish us. Now,
Agreed.
if we defeat Alejandro, not only are we furthering our goal of keeping the artifacts from Starts, which he has shown his hand, and that is weakening him, we also may have a pretty convenient way to go knock on Starts' door.
If we win the airship,
Exactly.
that would save time. Seems faster than the glass dancer.
It does. Well, we have 3 weeks. It'll take us about a week to get back to Jones. Who knows how long it will take us to get to Oak Ridge? I'm not familiar with where it is. Perhaps Joan knows.
We get there. It's a 3-week journey from here.
No.
We should
Matt,
call Joan.
Would
Ahead of
Civic
time.
know Oak Ridge if it's out of the pit?
It is, Oak Ridge is one of the settlements. It's closer to, less a settlement, more like a proper like village, not quite city status. It's just outside of the pit. So in theory, if you left right now, you could be there in a week.
Is it triangulated from Dame Jones? How far would it be from Jones?
From Jones, similarly a week. Like you are at the northern point of the pit, and Jones is to the southeast, whereas Oak Ridge is on the far west.
Opposite the ocean on the other side?
Yeah.
Okay.
Opposite the crust of it, but yes, it's on the
The
opposite
crust,
side.
right.
Okay. So, going to Jones is viable then.
Certainly.
Any other business we have in the city before we get moving?
I would have liked to have stayed a little bit longer with Wilson, but seeing the gravity of this gauntlet being thrown, I'm sure they'll understand us needing to move forward. Seems they have a good handle on the city now.
So the problem is, Wilson may have to leave. Iris may have to leave to take on this challenge. Otherwise, what? They rebuild Yarmul, send, no offense to him right now, he's a budding, promising young lad, but they send Kevin instead?
Oh, Kevin said he fully intended to stay here. I see no risk of Kevin showing up to this at all.
Right, but I just mean somebody like Kevin at least. God, that'd be ridiculous if Kevin showed up. Especially after that little chat we had.
It was such a heartfelt
Unbelievable.
conversation.
It was, wasn't it? But then theoretically they'll just destroy Yarmul because they didn't send their quote-unquote best.
Is that the risk? If you don't win, your city gets destroyed? Or do you need to entertain?
He said, here's the risk. If you fail to impress or remain a bore, then you remain average. And then he fired his cannon into the distance, and there was a huge explosion.
I mean, that's
I think the
pretty
implication
cut
is
and
there.
dry, I guess. So are we sure we can compete? Who are we representing?
I am a defender of Yarmil.
Okay.
Then what? Who goes for Farwalk?
Vale, would you represent your town?
Sort of
The
on the
stone
border.
shelves?
I don't know if it counts or not.
I don't know if I could represent the hill, but that's the closest home I know.
And Matt, just for clarification, was the implication if you don't try to entertain, you will be destroyed, or if you come here and fail, you'll be destroyed?
The implication, and to clarify, everybody within the pit is subject to this. Any settlement within the pit is subject to this. There's a strong implication that failure to lose this competition, whatever this is, it does sound like a competition. To lose is to lose your town. You will be held responsible for not being enough, and your town will be wiped.
But not necessarily abstaining from entry.
You don't know what happens if you abstain.
In either case, that decision would have to be left to the people of Yarmul and their system of justice in choosing their hero. We can't make those decisions for them.
Wow, guys, it's good to be back, to be conscious, to not be strapped to the table, beaten up, and used as like a battery for mycelium robot things. It's just good. It's just good to be back and at it.
No, I'm just glad we were able to get you into the studio, get a microphone in front of you, and really pick your brain on the goings-on, the current events, the happenings in Yarmul. You're here on our podcast. I think we're still trying to figure out a good name for it.
Well,
Wow, you
as a
guys-
defender of the city, Wilson implored this story-gathering troupe that called themselves True Meta Inc. And since I'm a
right.
defender now, we could technically call ourselves True Meta Inc. and co-opt this band of storyteller collectors.
Established branding.
It does sound nice. That's really cool that you guys have that set up. That Wilson's going the extra mile to do that.
Would they get
So,
upset
yeah.
with us for using their branding?
Probably not.
I mean,
Can't
I'm part
imagine.
of the defenders.
Right? Yeah, he's a part of the Defenders. It's
I
totally
Okay.
cool.
have
No, I
intellectual
see that.
property rights.
Yeah, and like,
Wait, I thought you sold those.
yeah,
No.
what did you read what you sold, like signed off on, like what you gave up specifically?
I don't think I've ever come across a document that would intend to be misleading. Are you saying that there is fine print that I should have paid attention to?
Probably. Unlikely that that's important. Like you signed off on it when it like belonged to the other guy, right? So like anything that you signed off on would have been connected to him, not Wilson, right? So
Wait, actually, hold on. I know we're having our funsies right now, and we're sitting around on these couches and having a freewheeling discussion, with the microphones as
sure,
people
yeah,
want.
this beanbag is nice.
If you want more, you can subscribe on our Patreon, of course. But I am starting to become concerned. You did sign paperwork for Panda Communications, right? Owned and operated by one Thomas Starts.
We'll let our DM guide the consequences of that conversation, but for now, I would like to tell you, Kevin, a very funny joke that I said on air as Vale was setting up his microphone. He said, "Oh, I just, my mic is in," but the way he said it, it almost said like he said, "Myconid," like the mushroom creatures that we just fought, and I just wanted to repeat that on air and in recording. Yes, wonderful.
That's
It's a wonderful
great.
joke. I thought so as well.
That's
I
Is this
thought
why
so as
Thomas
well.
Starts was wearing a jersey with your face on it when we met him by the pier?
He was wearing your mask, sort of like a rich. All of the defenders that were attacking the people were wearing rubber masks of your visage, kind of like Richard Nixon.
Who? Is that why the
ever heard of a
dirigible, the
gate made of
airship,
water?
has your face in profile? Emblazoned on
Says-
its side?
I'm Reginald Oathsword, and I approve these bombings.
You should probably get a lawyer.
I think I might have a book on common law in here somewhere.
With the day's rest, the message heard, the floor's kind of y'all's. If you go looking around, like if you go around town a little bit, you will There is a lot of whispers going about. It seems the majority of the town, if given the choice, they would like to select Wilson to be the representative that gets sent for this.
I think I would kind of talk with Wilson, and I would bring Vale along, because Vale can probably speak more logic than I can.
Well, I think we should probably go all three of us then, especially if we're potentially going to be competing in the same thing.
Yeah. Wilson.
Reginald, Vale, and Civic, good seeing you all.
See you as well. Glad you're still in good shape.
You have a monumental task of rebuilding the city and rebuilding order here as a defender. And I know that you are poised to be the person that the city sends forth. Now, I don't have an affiliation with an established hometown, and I am a defender. I believe it wise that I go in the place of Yarmil, and you continue your rebuilding efforts. I believe your talents are best used here rebuilding the city as opposed to leaving just as such a chaotic event has overcome the city.
I'm troubled. I worry that I don't doubt your abilities. Let me be clear about that. I believe you all are. You could have handled Mollum Racecar well and truly without my presence. I don't know if the people will respect that decision.
The problem is, the challenge issued as it was, we must compete. We have to. We need to climb to the top. We need to face Alejandro through whatever means necessary. It is imperative for the future of not just the pit, but for the entirety of this planet. Potentially more. But to do that, we have to win. We have to win every time. And if it is as I suspect, and it is a battle, a competition, a tournament of sorts, it means every team we defeat means we destroy a town.
As you're saying these things out loud, as you're confronting him, Vale, you blink and you see Wilson Stakes, soldier, 150 max HP, 50 MP, and then you blink and it goes away. It will take some convincing, but maybe you're right. Maybe you are our best chance.
You put your faith in us once before. It was no easy choice to trust an outsider with a mission given to us by a higher power than even we fully understand.
He does raise an eyebrow to that.
And as you have trusted us once before, we ask that you do it once again.
He seems to think on that for a little bit, and then he looks each of you in the eye, then he looks back into Reginald, and he stares you down for a little bit, and he says, "Are you prepared to be responsible for someone's home being destroyed?"
I look to Vale. I trust Vale would guide us through this. My job is to defend these two.
He will then look to Vale, the same kind of steady gaze. I understand that this is something that they are pushing on us. That the responsibility, win or lose, is not our. We are not actively making a choice, but inaction is lethal here. Can you say, in good faith, you would be capable of making sure our people survive if it means someone else's does not?
Since Vale spoke about what winning means, he's had a really bad taste in his mouth and his brow has just kind of been furrowed, and he's staring through Wilson even while Wilson's looking at him. He heard what he said, but it's just added to the chorus that's already in his head. No. The game is rigged. It's rigged from the start. Which means the only way to win is to change the rules of engagement. We have to break the premise.
Civic will nod. We have to make it more interesting for him to keep the cities and towns of the pit alive than to destroy them.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Some sort of local competition?
That's exactly what I was thinking. What's one tournament when you could have dozens fighting for the right? I think we've proven ourselves already. What if we issued a challenge in response? Somehow got there first, gave the other towns time to get their best together, which would buy us time to deal with Alejandro.
If we left today, we could get there a week before the competition starts. If everything goes according to plan with our travel. If Yarmul broadcast its own tournament leading up to the tournament, maybe that would have Alejandro stay his hand?
Very least draw attention.
I don't
There's
know.
a piece we're missing.
Vale, I don't have a read on Alejandro. Would he actually go along with something like that?
What does Alejandro define as entertainment?
Do you guys want to roll for me a insight willpower like group check based on what very, very little you have?
Yeah, we have
I'm
so
gonna-
little information to go on.
I'm gonna say this is a difficulty like 13 to get
Okay.
something reasonable out of this.
This to me feels like we're trying to figure out how to best prepare Yarmul for what's to come.
And the world. I mean, we
Yeah, true.
did receive snippets of their personality throughout our fight with Mollum and
Mhm.
what they defined as entertaining. So I think our goal right now is to understand that motivation of entertaining and see if we can't come up with an alternative to entertainment that isn't just destruction. Because to me, Party Hat Eric, destruction is a one and done thing, right? It would be more entertaining, and this is really sadistic, but for the towns that lose, they have to kill one person each day after they lose and broadcast that. And if they fail to kill someone at the end of that day, then it gets nuked. That at least buys time. It's horrible, but how much more entertaining is that? I don't think I can propose that as Reginald. But as Eric, I'm like, that to me is twisted enough to be their definition of entertainment while still not eradicating a whole society for a point of failure.
Interesting.
I like that strategy.
I like the
Like,
strategy
but-
where no one dies. Okay,
Right.
that's just me.
But no, I think we tweak it to if they lose, they have a tournament to determine who one-on-one's Alejandro.
Yeah.
They're going
Yeah.
to die, but they have a chance.
That would
And
be
then
if we
Alejandro
can.
gets to like laugh and assert his strength.
That would be if we can get there early enough to try and get some time with Alejandro to persuade him to change the
No,
game.
we don't. We
which-
don't have to get there. We have Panda Communications installed in the city still.
Oh, okay.
We can get Clive to either hack it or me to try to enter the Soul Network and do a broadcast.
True. Interesting.
Do you
Well,
guys
let's resolve this
still-
insight
Yeah, I was
check.
gonna say, would you still like to insight into Alejandro's character, or
Yeah, I would
what
say so.
specifically? Okay, so you want to get a read on his character.
Yeah, just what they would find as entertaining that we could propose that might be an alternative.
Who do we want to lead this?
I have a 6 and a 12.
I have a 6 and an 8.
I have an 8 and a 12.
I think it's clear.
That goes to you.
The only difference is if I help somebody, I can do double insight. But then the most I'm
that's the
giving is a
help.
+1.
Yeah, so it's still better to use your die.
You're looking for a 13 here, gang. Good luck.
Yeah,
Thank you.
fabulous points still. It's an 8 from me.
It's a 3 from me.
14.
Nice.
Well done.
Okay.
Okay.
I rolled a 6 and an 8.
Oh,
With-
sweet.
Would higher get me more? Or
Yes.
no? Do I just
Well,
need to beat the threshold?
I'd say this is just a threshold beating one.
Okay.
With what very limited access you've had to him so far, you can surmise that the fight you had with Mullum was entertaining to him, and he thought you guys were way more entertaining because you had something to lose. So it seems that this game, this show that he's putting on, he is going to put on the most risk to try to draw out the most out of whoever's participating. So if you have a way to get him to re-angle in another way that will draw out the most competition, the most excitement out of people, that seems to be the best angle to try to move him. If you just want to do something that affects him directly, he's looking for the passion that people get in a very sick way. He's looking for the passion people get when they're they are putting everything at risk. That is what he's looking for. If you can find another way to angle him on that, that should be the way to get it.
I've got it. We raise the stakes. We don't try to lower them. We raise the stakes.
What is a worse stake than annihilating a section of society?
Whole pit.
You put the whole pit on the line?
We wager the entire pit. It's a tournament to fight Alejandro, to determine who fights Alejandro, with the entire pit on the line.
We don't know if Alejandro's in it yet. I mean, obviously.
No,
We
we challenge
imagine.
him. We challenge him. We say, Alejandro, if you are this incredible warrior with this incredible ship, watch as we fight beneath you. Each of us fighting to prove that one of us could maybe be strong enough to confront you. And if you beat us, the whole pit is yours.
So you're saying we still fight everyone who brings out a representative, and then the person that comes out on top gets the chance to fight him, and then either we beat him or the whole pit goes away.
Yes.
That might be crazy enough to work.
He's insane. And if he cares about loss, raising the stakes, we can't even say, hey, oh, good friends of Farwalk, go to Yarmul. We're going to fucking cook. There's no refugees, nothing. Whole pit.
But then if we lose
don't.
everything.
We don't. It's the only option. So let's go over this a little bit in character. No, hold on. We were close, but I could tell, I know the two of you got the sense of it too, that it was about the loss, right? It was about having something on the line. The feeling of a cornered animal. How hard they fight, knowing that it is survival or death, nothing in between. No wounds, no quarter measures. You live or you die. You win or your people are destroyed, erased. I cannot live with the thought that I would be killing cities every time we win. I don't think either of you can either.
No.
What I think the only thing that he will respond to is more pain on the line, more loss on the line, but less for us on the way up. I think we wager the pit.
So are you saying he gets the thrill of us fighting amongst ourselves as we choose to declare ourselves the representative to fight him, and it gets resolved in a fight of the champion and Alejandro with the pit as a wager?
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
I have two concerns with this, Vale. Among the many, many concerns I have with this, two rise to the top. One, the pit isn't ours to wager. We're not even from here. Reginald is. Mr. Starts is. The people of Yarmul are. I'm from the hill. Who am I to say what happens to the people of the pit at that grand a scale? You say you can't destroy others as we win. I can't destroy all others if we lose.
We won't lose.
Unfortunately, the consequences of our duty forces us to bear that. Vale and I talked before. Vale has handled this in the siege he had against his castle. I have handled this in leaving my community as they felt unprotected by me. You are right that the pit is not ours to wager, but it's also not Start's to wager. It's also not Alejandra's to wager, and yet here they are, holding it all for ransom for their own entertainment. If we are to claim this power, we have to raise the stakes and win this hand. There is no other way.
I worry, Wilson speaks up. I worry that if he has the means to do this already, it might be that he already believes the pit is his, to destroy at his own leisure.
Think of it this way. Us winning under his circumstances, or us losing under his circumstances, is the difference of one town. Because if we follow his rules and rise to the top, we kill everyone else except for one town, one city. And instead we get to look in their eyes and know that we did it, instead of wagering for a chance to save them all. You'd damn 90% of the pit for the chance of saving a 10th? It's not Misstep's fault that we didn't go there first and that we didn't meet them. Everyone deserves the same chance. We live together or we die together.
Who's to say at the end of this competition, tournament, whatever it is, that he doesn't kill the 10th anyways?
Then what was the difference?
Then what's the point of the tournament? Why fight at all? Why play his game at all? Why negotiate his game? We get everyone there and then everyone's ready to fight, but we don't fight his game, we fight him. All out attack on the dreadnought, using all the combatants on the ground as our army. We don't let the game even start in 3 weeks.
But how will they fly? We saw what it did to a ship, a military vessel out on the sea. We're going to amass an army on the ground underneath it?
I don't know.
It's a brilliant thought. And if we can, we should. But who's to say that he doesn't immediately go, oh, well, you're not playing my game. Goodbye to your cities. He has us all hostage.
Had we more time than 3 weeks to find a way to build one of these our own in time, or find out how they came across such a ship, but we are limited on that exact thing, time. We barely have enough time to get there, let alone to have a counter offense.
But we know someone who's familiar with these ships.
Do we?
I think it may be time for Dame Joan to come out of hiding.
We cut to far away, to a home hidden away in the cracks and the crust of the pit. We cut to the home of Dame Joan. She is where she usually is at this time of day, in the back of the yard, looking over her children, what's left of them, rocking in her little chair. Today she has the chessboard set out. She has a guest coming. She knows he's going to come. He always comes whenever it's times like this. His footsteps, as they make their way across to the backyard, the youthful smile that he puts on whenever he shows up. She scrunches up her face. He's younger again. He looks to be in his 30s this time round. The hair is still crew cut. The suits are always tailored exactly. Thomas strides across Dame Joan's backyard and sits in his place beside her. You know, each time we do this dance, I'm always so frustrated with how you manage to be just behind me. This time, it seems I've misplayed. This upstart. He risks more your current crew. Could they stop him? Joan reaches out across the chessboard. She moves upon and looks back at Thomas. I believe they can.
It's all about rolling dice, baby!